Hello there, Applebites. This is your Applebite Written Writ Ralph talking to you straight from our show here, The Written Writ, a show where you and I and you get creative, have fun, and geek out. Yes, folks, we are ready to geek out. We are ready to have some fun. And of course, why don't we kick this off by talking about a little fight that's happening right now? We have been enjoying Game of Tunes' amazing little fight, the Blitz. Say that 3 times fast.
Blip chip. What's the problem, man? Come on.
No. Blitz.
Oh, Blitz.
Yep.
What's the problem,
That's the name
man?
of the fight, man. That's the name of the fight.
Even I can say that. I can't talk.
Blitz. 3 times fast. Come on.
Blitz.
All right, folks. This is where we are. We are at, if it will show it, there we go. We are at the top 8.
So the quarterfinals.
Right now, we are at the last fight, which is Omni-Man versus the Mandalorian.
Oh, bite me.
All right. Omni-Man versus Boba Fett.
You're killing me, man.
Now, all those Boba Fett fans are like, Ralph, how dare you?
I got to go with Boba Fett. I'm voting. Oh, you kidding me? Omni-Man's beating them? Baloney. This is so rigged. Right? Because this is so rigged. Everyone I choose loses. It's so rigged.
The TV show just ended. The new they had new episodes of The Incredibles.
Did Mickey Mouse win?
Nope.
Are you kidding? Gizmo beat Mickey Mouse? I think I voted for Gizmo. I couldn't stand Mickey.
Gizmo won. So right now you have Sonic, Goku, and Gizmo. So that's the 3, and then the final 4 will be whoever wins with between Omni-Man and Boba. This has been a fun game, and dude, Tony went crazy with his memes. If you haven't had a chance to see them, go check them out.
You wanted that Cobra so bad.
Well, he turned faces on him because first he did all that stuff to help Cobra, and then when Cobra was fighting Goku, he threw Cobra Commander in the mud.
You can't bet against Goku, man.
That's what he said. He was like, "Oh, sorry, Cobra. It's time for Goku to win." All right, this is gonna be fun. The top 4 will start tomorrow. It should start tomorrow. We'll know the winner of this fight tomorrow at 7:00, or a little bit later than that, and then the top 4 will start at 7 tomorrow. I think everything will be over by Saturday. Yeah, which is great because that's free comic book day. Where are you guys heading to for free comic book day? And you got your locations picked out already?
I don't think so. I usually hit my LCS Fourth World, Long Island.
How close are you to Fourth World? Okay,
it's still the closest one too.
That answers that question.
Yeah.
Because I tried getting to Fourth World a couple of times, and it's a trip and a half for me.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a trip. It's worth it.
Paul, you're heading to your local comic store, right?
Yeah, probably go to Dewey's Comic Book City. It's in Madison. If I have time, I'll try and get to Funny Books. They're in Lake Hiawatha, but that's kind of a drive for me. But I freaking both those shops. I mean, they're both great guys, and they're nice little shops. It's kind of cool.
I'm looking forward to it. I will be at Royal Collectibles this weekend. Usually where I go to hit things up, and they have a makers fair at the same time, so it's like a con and free comic book day at the same time.
Wow, they're going all out.
Oh, definitely. It's always a blast. I have a ton of fun. I spent like the majority of the day there because of both events. I'm actually gonna try to get in early to showcase what's going on and all the beautiful stuff they're setting up. I'll let you know if that happens.
Yeah, with Dewey's, it's right below. They moved the Kubert School from Dover to Madison, and now it's Dewey's is right on the first floor. The Kubert School's on the second and third floor of the same building, and they have a bunch of artists. Like Fernando Ruiz is going to be there. I know V. Keith Marion had been there about 2 years ago, and they've got a bunch of students from the school there doing like free sketches. So it's a lot of fun, and you can sometimes pay the artists as well, but for the most part, they'll do a free sketch for you. It's really a good time.
No, Mark Torres is doing his inning.
Yeah, he's hitting up that new location at the Broadway Mall, right?
Yeah.
I'll be there too.
Okay, awesome, man.
Oh, that's right, Francis.
I don't know if I can
be.
get there. I'm gonna try to be.
Yeah.
I will be there. I think I'll probably be right next to Mark.
That would be a place to be then. Also,
what's it called again? Mid
Island. Yeah, it's a really nice little spot. Well, not little actually.
I gotta say, it's a great idea.
Yeah,
it's a great idea. You utilize the mall, because it's already like shutting down, kind of, and do something else with it.
It's like a ghost town there. I mean, the movie theater shut down, the food court shut down.
Yeah, I used to go there a lot, so it's kind of sad. It was one of those locations that we would hit up during the weekend when we wanted to go somewhere.
If it wasn't for the Target and the IKEA there, like those are the anchor stores. That's what's keeping the mall there. If those either one of those left,
there's a big arcade there too, though. Right?
Oh yeah, I love that arcade.
Oh
man.
yeah,
My daughter loves that arcade. Yeah,
that place kind of cool.
Round one.
Yeah,
they're pretty sweet.
I think we celebrated a couple of my daughter's birthdays there.
One of the first comic shops I've ever been to was at the Livingston Mall. This is going back to like the early 80s, late 70s.
Right.
And the place is closed down. They're going to tear down the whole thing now and make kind of innings. It's just like, it's a shame. It really is.
Just sad.
I think people have lost what it is to go to a mall now. Everything's online, It's really a shame.
Well, the good thing is that we seem to be coming around, and I'm hoping we come around before all the malls or a lot of things are gone.
Yeah.
Because bookstores were gone for a bit. Now they're like blowing up again. Barnes
and Noble's doing the ragtime business.
Oh yeah, it's doing much better.
Retail,
yeah.
So I think because there's no one else around. I mean, there's McNally in the city, but really there's nothing in the suburbs. Just Barnes and Noble. That's about it.
Well, that's why the indie bookstores are doing so well.
Like in towns and such, but there's really no chains around.
Remember Walden Books? I remember those. The little.
Walden, yeah.
There's only a couple of those left.
I don't even know if there's any left of the Walden book.
I run into them. They're like, if I run into little nooks here and there.
Do they still exist? I was. They still do. Okay, I've not seen one in a long time.
Yeah, you guys should go. You have to go looking for them. It's not like before where they were everywhere.
I think they're up in Massachusetts still. Francis,
yeah.
It's been like, because I went up to the mall like in Providence and in Cambridge, and I saw a bunch of old bookstores that I had never seen in a long, long time, and they were still there. So
I think one of the things that bugged me out was
cyclical, like
malls. I think one of the things that bugged me out was when Toys R Us disappeared. I was like, "What?"
But that's back too now.
Yeah,
that's back too.
Well,
there's one in Deer Park, I think. At the Tanger Outlets, they have a Toys R Us there now.
Oh, really? They have a retail store because Macy's was just offering toys in their shop in their chain when they were.
Oh yeah, they have standalone stores that. There's a handful of them across the U.S. now, and we're lucky to have one on Long Island.
And they're in Macy's now as well.
Yes.
Mike
Christmas Eve they were open, and I was going there to get my kids gifts because we felt we didn't have enough for them under the tree.
That's what it was great for. Mike actually has like a lot of history with Toys R Us.
But Toys R Us is back in name only.
Yeah.
Because what made Toys R Us was its buying power.
Yep.
And Toys R Us had the power to make or break a toy line. And if you wanted to introduce a new,
he was hoping all that comes back, man. I mean, even Blockbuster and stuff and I thought that was trying to make a comeback too. I'm serious. I saw like one of my friends went to like the last Blockbuster in the country and got like a hat,
That's the last,
Like
but
one of
that's the
those.
last one. I think in the whole world, right? Isn't that the? It's in,
Yeah, there's
in
one left.
Oregon.
One left.
Yeah.
One Blockbuster left.
But it's like, it's niche now, so like I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if Toys R Us made a comeback, anything could do it.
But I gotta say, Mike, I get what you're saying because
but
it was
Toys R Us didn't make
Yeah.
a comeback. Someone just licensed the name and put it on their toy store.
right.
So, that's like saying Elvis is back because I'm wearing his wig.
All right, so we've got some plans for New Comic Book Day. That'll be fun.
You'd be surprised how much people will pay to see that, Mike.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, we get the Elvis impersonators all over the place. We can get the Toys R Us impersonators.
I miss KB Toys. Remember that?
Oh, yeah,
Maybe,
maybe.
yeah, man.
You remember Babbage's? How about Babbage's? Real
Yeah.
back now.
Babbage's Software, etc.
Yep.
Which all became GameStop, and they all.
And now GameStop's like.
Tower Records, I miss.
I miss Tower Records. You know, the Tower Records is still around online, and it's also still around. Yeah.
In Japan, right? Yeah, you said Japan, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
went
also
to that
Virgin-
Tower Records in
The
Japan.
Virgin Megastore
It
in
was
Times
dope.
Square. Great.
Oh, I
They were
love
doing. They had like the
Virgin Megastore in Times
Japanese
Square.
MTV, and they were interviewing my friend, American guys walking up, like,
I mean, I love
TV,
toy
like,
cars
all the
in the
Japanese
city
music.
with the Ferris wheel and everything. I brought my
Yeah.
kid there several times. It was fun. That's why they went out of business. 'Cause all this real estate in the middle of Manhattan, giant Ferris wheel. How much are you really making off this store? I'd like to know.
Hey, FAR Schwartz is back. That's in the city now. Rockefeller Center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toys R Us Times
Is that
Square.
the one from
Hey.
Home Alone or something?
Big.
Big, okay,
Big.
with the
The keyboard. The big giant
That's
keyboard.
cool.
Mike, you were saying Toys R Us Times Square?
Toys R Us Times Square took in $5 million a day.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That much?
Yeah.
It was a tourist spot.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't like. I figured what they should have done was close down all the smaller stores, leave the one in Times Square open, because that means that it would have been a destination location, because people would have came, because now you wouldn't have that many Toys R Us.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good idea. You should be running things.
But I've never understood why they have to close all the stores down. I'm like, dude, just keep one or two open, and you probably make money off of that.
Well, look, that's what GameStop's doing, right? They're closing stores left and right.
Oh my God, yeah.
And their website sucks. So how are you going to buy games now?
And they rip you off for everything.
Yeah. I thought I got a deal back on New Year's Eve. I ordered Earthbound for Super NES, $99 from GameStop. It's like, this is great. I got it 2 weeks later. It was a counterfeit cartridge.
From GameStop?
Are you
From
kidding
GameStop
me?
online. Cartridge. I was counterfeit. I'm like, so I spent $100. The game's worth like $400 cartridge alone, $400 or $500. Like $100. This is great. It's too good to be true.
Oh man. So, Mike, I gotta say, I love having you on because you have all this history lore from so many different things. You've been around for a bit, and you've done a lot of things.
Bizarre things that make no.
Ooh.
I can't hear you, bro.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
As soon as we got Mike talking, he got thrown off.
Freaking Ghost of the Machine again. It's like we're going through this again. It's like
It must be the mummy's curse.
I gotta say, it has to be the mummy's curse because that's why Mike's on today. Yeah, I had a feeling Shadow couldn't hear Mike because I think Shadow kept thinking there was like long moments of silence because he kept jumping in. I'm like,
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was wondering what was going on. I was like, I don't hear nothing. Yeah. I thought everyone was just saying yep, like King of the Hill stuff. My bad.
Oh no. Mike was talking.
Oh, sorry.
No, don't worry about it. I had a feeling you couldn't hear him. Mike will
Can
be
you
back.
all hear him?
Huh? Yeah, we can hear
Everyone
him.
else good? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
What are you on your phone?
my apologies. Yeah, but I can hear everyone else.
Yeah, but I feel like Mike's sound is a little lower than the rest of us.
Well, I can't hear it at all now.
Well, Mike's gone. Oh, there you go. Mike's back. Yay! All right, Mike, you good? I don't think you
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
persistence is futile.
Can you hear us? No, I don't think you can hear us. You know, you gotta love live TV.
I don't know if you guys can hear me, but I cannot hear you. I just hear like a clicking sound.
We can hear you.
All right. We can hear you.
Yeah. Do the sign language.
It almost seems like a strange promotion for that new Steven Spielberg film.
So they filmed on Long Island.
Let me see. Wait, I can just text him.
Yeah, tell him I'm sorry if I was talking over him, man.
Oh no. I kind of figured it out. I think he
considering how little I say normally, you know.
All right, Mike, here we go. So we can hear you. You know, ever since I saw Supernatural and Misha, it was the episode where they're in the real world and they meet with Misha and the rest of the guys because they're the actors, and Misha like feeling like one of the guys as he texts. I've been doing it myself. Oh, there he goes. He's back. Let's see if he can hear us now. You can hear us now, Mike?
Yeah, I can't hear you guys.
That's so weird. And out. Might have to sign out completely and then come back in. It's possible. Oh no, we would see the mute if it was muted, and then we wouldn't hear him. You gotta love it, folks. You know, and our friend's not even here today, because usually when Shannon is here,
everything gets messed up. We're talking about it. That's the problem. Don't talk about it.
Yeah, you brought her up.
We got all spooky ooky in the green room, folks. You know,
I think Mike froze. He looks frozen.
Oh yeah, look, Mike's back again. Hold on. This is what happened before. Look, now we got two mics. Look, we got two mics. Mike, can you hear us now?
I can hear you now.
All right.
Although you've moved my square. Before I was like in the Alice position for a Brady Bunch, and now I'm over in the corner. I think I'm Greg.
That's because as soon as you click out, everybody starts to move around. It's the weirdest thing. I've never like it bugs me out. I guess the whole algorithm or the StreamYard does this thing where as soon as somebody leaves, it changes their position.
You didn't really have to move me there. Although now I feel like I'm the center square on Hollywood Squares.
Well, I'm trying to move things to where I had them. There we go. Before. All right. So, Mike, we were just talking.
We're getting sick, Rafael. Stop it.
I was going to say, we were just saying that we mentioned Shannon in the green room, and we shouldn't have mentioned Shannon in the green room because everything gets all spooky-ooky when she's around. But, Mike, I feel like things follow you in that direction as well. And you're here to talk about the mummy, so maybe it's the curse of the mummy.
Maybe. Although there's not actually a mummy involved in this, it's just the sarcophagus. There's technically no mummy because the sarcophagi do not open. So, do you want me to tell you the whole story, Ralph?
Go for it.
Okay.
I've been dying to hear this. I miss working with you because that's when I would hear the story.
Yeah, Ralph, did we first meet at Toy Fair or near Comic-Con, or was it at Ripley's?
It was at Ripley's. You were doing that event at Ripley's, and we were there for that, and that's when we met you. Yeah.
Yeah, neat. So see, it's like come full circle.
Oh, definitely.
So this particular tale begins in 1974, and I was a young boy playing on the beach in New Jersey one summer, and I was playing with my G.I. Joe adventure set, and this is back when G.I. Joe was 12 inches tall and he had the big vehicles, and it was the adventure of the lost mummy or something like that, and there was a sarcophagus in his vehicle and G.I. Joe, and I was burying the sarcophagus in the sand and digging it up over and over. Right. You know, the way kids play.
Right.
Oh, now I can hear people.
And the end of the day came, and my mother said to me, "Okay, we have to go." So I went to dig up the sarcophagus, and I couldn't find it.
Right.
So I'm digging holes everywhere, cannot find the thing, which is amazing because it was like, I swear to you, Ralph, it's been haunting me for over 50 years. It was right there in front of me. I do not know where it went. So finally, my mother was like, "We have to go. You know, we can't stay here while you have an expedition for 5 more hours." And I was really upset because I was a little kid. And she said, "What? Just think, someday some other little kid is going to find this and they'll be amazed. This will be so exciting for them." And that stuck with me for years. And then 10 years ago, just on a whim, I thought to myself, I'm going to get one of those sarcophagus, make a mold of it. There it is. And cast some. I'm going to cast 74 of them.
Whoa.
And I'm just going to bury them random places on beaches and let people find them. My name wasn't on it. There was no website. There was no information. Somebody would just be digging in the sand, find a sarcophagus, have no idea why it was there. And my original plan was just to do it once, to do it for one summer. But then I got to the end of the summer, and the mold was still in good shape. And it had been fun to do. And I said to myself, I'm going to do this again. And I did it again and again and again. And then here we are 11 summers later, and this is the end of it. What brought about the end, kind of, were two things. Last year, let me back up. A few years ago, a kid in England found one, and I didn't know this because my friend Barry had gone to England and buried one in Blackpool for me. So a kid in England found one and had been searching for its origin for a couple of years. And finally, he just did a Google image search and came up with the press release from 10 years ago when I started burying them.
Right.
And then he contacted me through LinkedIn, and the BBC did an interview, and they're like, "Why are you doing this? And how many have you buried?" And they were the first ones to ask, is this tied to the release of the new Mummy movie? And I said, no, this is totally unrelated to the Mummy movie. And then shortly after that, Brendan Fraser announced that he was doing the other new Mummy movie, not to be confused with Lee Cronin's Mummy.
Right.
And people were asking if this was somehow related to that. So I thought to myself, although Lee Cronin's Mummy was good, and I'm sure the Brendan Fraser Mummy is going to be good, I didn't want people to feel that they were in any way connected. And the mold, after making 814 sarcophagi, had started to degrade a lot. So I made a final batch, and the 814th sarcophagus, along with the original mold, which is now in very poor shape, was acquired by Ripley's Believe It or Not, and they're going to put it in one of their museums.
Nice.
And
that's cool.
I guess put it in one of their books and maybe in their daily comic. And then, here's one of the sarcophaguses.
Oh, there you go. He has his own right there.
And then we're also in talks about there being a world record for this, although I really don't think there's anyone in second place because, except for the actual Egyptians, no one else has been running around burying sarcophagi. So I'm fairly certain I'm the only one, and I don't think anybody's even close. So I don't have to worry about, I don't know, Jerry buried 812. He's catching up to me. I'm ahead of everyone else by a lot.
But you've had an interesting relationship, like we were just talking about, because that's when we met you for that event you were doing for Mexico Toys, right?
Yes, probably.
Yeah. For the Annabelle doll.
Oh, for the that's where we met.
That's where we met.
For Batman.
No, it was for the Annabelle doll.
Wow. It is always fun when I'm being interviewed by someone. They go, "What's one of your greatest accomplishments?" or "What's your greatest accomplishment?" And I say, "I got to drive the Batmobile down 42nd Street hop the curb and drive into the front of Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Oh my God.
That's hard to top.
That is hard to top. I know this story though.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It amazes me because you have such great stories. How do you find yourself in these situations?
Well, I just do the stuff I do, and everything else just follows along.
I like that answer.
Well, Ralph, we've done a lot of stuff together, and sometimes
that is true.
Opportunities just occur.
That they do. Yeah, it's that's what I tell people all the time. Just go out there and do stuff, because if you're not doing anything, nothing's gonna happen to you.
Yeah. Well, also, and we live in New York City.
Yep.
There is literally something happening every day. And if you just go out your door, there's a good chance you can run into something exciting.
Especially in New York City, yeah.
Oh, definitely, 100%.
And there's so many events that happen in New York City. Sometimes, you don't find out until years later or months later, or you're so surprised that it's happening when you find it. You're like, what the?
Well, I mean, we can't go into the story I told you personally.
Okay.
But I mean, what was it, Monday or Tuesday? It was like the Times Square Association meeting in the afternoon.
Right.
And, there was lots of excitement with that. And then watching Riz's new movie with him in the evening. And that's, two fairly exciting things in one day.
Yeah. Yep, New York, man. Folks.
Yep.
Go do stuff.
Yeah. That should be the slogan. We love New York, but also New York City. Go do stuff.
But it's so funny because I feel like as New Yorkers, what ends up happening is that we take for granted where we live.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
how many people have said, I've never been to the Empire State Building, or
yep.
I never go to the Statue of Liberty. And, Statue of Liberty.
Uh-oh. Yep. I feel like Drake is going to be our new Shannon. He's talking about
Statue of Liberty is something you only need to do once. But, the Empire State Building continues to be fun.
I agree. And there's a lot of events that happen inside the Empire State Building.
Oh, yeah.
So, Drake, we've lost your screen, but we can hear you.
Oh, you've lost my screen? I can see my screen.
That's so weird. Yeah. You're black over here.
Okay. Well, not that there's anything wrong with that.
No. Oh, man. I gotta say, like, when Ripley's was here, you were like involved with a lot of the stuff that was happening at Ripley's.
Well, yeah, we did the Annabelle thing there. We did the stuff with the coffin. We did the Batmobile. There was a lot of good. Oh, I did my book launch was there for Contemporary Krampus.
That's true.
Yeah, with their Halloween party. So there was lots of exciting stuff. I was very sad to see it go, and I hope that they open up another branch here.
I agree. I was surprised that when they closed it, I was like, okay, because I thought it was doing well.
Well, COVID hurt a lot of business.
Oh, yeah. COVID was the destroyer of a lot of businesses.
Yes.
Oh, man. Let's see. Dude, you also run around the city dealing with food too, right?
Well, for a while, I was the Korean food ambassador, which is funny because, and I say this lovingly, I don't think they knew when they picked me that I was a white guy. So, but, my other half is Korean, so that kind of counts.
That counts, yeah.
But, yes, I was involved with that for, and I still help out when they ask. There's another ambassador now.
I gotta say, it's just amazing all the stuff that you do, but I feel like what you're saying is true. It's like if you don't go out there and try to experience things or do things, then it's just not gonna happen.
Oh, that's 100% true. I mean, it would be amazing if stuff just started to happen in your living room.
Yeah,
really, you have to go out and do stuff. I mean, the King of England was in the city today. he probably wasn't in your living room. I mean, he could have been. It could have happened, but probably not.
Completely possible. Completely possible. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, anything's possible. We're in New York, but probably not going to happen.
Dude, I just like, I don't know. I'm always amazed, you know, and when you were just talking about the Statue of Liberty and the Empire State Building, and I'm just always amazed that we kind of like gloss over those things. Like, I understand they're tourist spots, but at the same time, that they're New York history.
Yeah, I think that true New Yorkers are line-averse. So, if a long line is involved, you don't want to do it for the most part.
Right.
And that's why, you know, when people come to visit you and they're like, "Oh, Ralph, can we go to Magnolia Bakery?" And you're like, "Well, you can." I'm not gonna wait in that line for an hour for a cupcake, although they're great cupcakes.
Yeah. I completely agree.
Yeah.
And then there's so many museums and so many interesting things. You know, I think you've actually like have gone, "Hey Ralph, why don't you go check this place out?" And I'm like, "Whoa, what's this?"
Well, how many times have I dragged you to the Museum of the Moving Image?
Oh, that's true.
Which is a great museum.
Yeah. Amazing museum. And they were usually doing a bunch of different things there as well. Again, I don't know. We have all this stuff here, folks. You know, it's funny because Paul does a lot of stuff for history, especially when it comes to his video game. And he's always saying that you have all these historical spots around the tri-state area, you know, especially because, you know, the George Washington and the Revolutionary War and all that stuff is here.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody thinks about any of that.
No, you're right. Most people don't. Although there's plaques everywhere.
Yep. And statues.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like one of the reasons that Paul wanted to start his game was because, you know, there's just so much stuff around us.
Indeed, there is. And I think this is another part of living here, that because we're so focused on the task that we're doing or the place that we're going, sometimes you walk past things and you don't even notice it. I know somebody that used to live on 34th Street, right next to the New Yorker Hotel. And I mentioned casually one day, "Oh, you know, that's where Nikola Tesla died." And they're like, "No, he didn't." And I was like, "Yeah, there's actually a giant plaque on the wall."
Yeah, there is.
It's like 3 feet wide by like 3 feet tall. They're like, "No."
Yep.
They've been walking down that street every day for years. And we walked down the street and I was like, "There's the plaque." And he's like, "Oh my God. I never stopped to read that. I never knew what that was." So I think there's a lot of things like that even I walk past every day, and it just doesn't register what it is or why it's there or, you know, what's going on.
I agree.
And read about it.
I agree. I'm the same way. I knew Tesla was there because I'm a big Tesla fan.
I don't mean to geek out. I'm sorry, Mike, and I apologize. But I was a big G.I. Joe fan.
No.
I had the Adventure Team vehicles. Did the Mummy version come with a snake? I think it came with the Buddha, right? I can't remember what the components were, but I remember having that Mummy version.
Are we losing audio again?
Oh. So, Mike, you can hear me, but you can't hear Paul?
No.
This is getting interesting.
Translate, will you, Ralph?
What did Paul say? You can be like the translator.
That's what he just said. He said, "Oh, Paul, Ralph, translate." So he was asking about the G.I. Joe with the Mummy.
Yes.
Right. What was the question again, Paul?
I was.
I feel like we're using a Ouija board. Paul, Is it a yes or no question?
Go ahead, Paul.
No, did it come? I think it came with a Buddha that opened up, had gems inside, and then I think it might have come with a cobra. I'm trying to remember. It's been so.
All right, so he said that he thinks it came with a Buddha that opened up and it had gems inside. And
No, that was a separate playset.
Ah,
that was a separate playset.
Okay.
There was it was really the same vehicle, I believe, but one was the Mummy one, and then there was a Buddha one. And it's funny. There was also a Gorilla playset, and then they just made the Gorilla white, and that was the Abominable Snowman playset.
Wow.
I love it. I love Hasbro, man. They were so great.
He was like, Hasbro was so great. I agree. I had a huge Joe collection. Oh my God, I really enjoyed collecting the Joes. You know, my brother was the bigger one on it, and my parents would give him the stuff. So you know, I didn't get to play with it too much.
I still got the Adventure Team vehicle. It's got the 2 components. One has got the detachable, like mobile unit, and then the other is the radar unit in the back. I still have it upstairs in my attic.
So, Mike, did you ever get the big aircraft carrier? Because you know that's the goal of all the GI Joe guys.
No, because that was for the smaller GI Joes. I was back in the I was back in the time of the 12-inch Joes. My middle brother or my baby brother had the big aircraft carrier because he was around when they were doing the smaller. I would consider inferior GI Joes.
You're not the only one to tell me that.
Even as a kid growing up, my parents kept saying you're playing with dolls. I said, no, I'm playing with an action figure. I don't know what you're playing with, but I'm playing with an action figure.
Paul was like, even when he was growing up, his parents would be like, you're playing with dolls. He's like, no, I'm playing with an action figure.
Well, legally there is a distinction. So they are action figures and not dolls.
Oh man. Folks, don't say things don't get interesting here on the show.
Well, actually, Ralph, I wasn't kidding. Did you know there's truly a legal reason why we have the term action figure?
I think I know what it is, but I found out a while ago. What did you tell us?
It was because of customs pricing, and dolls had a high custom,
right.
And when G.I. Joe came into being, they were like, no, that's not a doll. It's a action figure. And there was no high tariff rate for that. So it came through without the higher price.
That is amazing. I saw like a documentary and they were talking about Joe's.
Yes.
And they were talking about action figures versus dolls in the show. And I remember them mentioning this. Is it an action figure? Is it a doll?
Well, you remember the Mego action figures?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had tons of Mego action figures, and my grandmother, bless her heart, they used to sell the Mego action figures for some reason in our local drugstore.
Right.
And she was in the drugstore getting something, and she saw a Mego Batgirl, and she bought me a Batgirl. And I was so distraught because Batgirl had real hair. So in my mind, that made her a doll. Because, I'm a little kid. There's this thing, not only is it a girl, but it has real hair. So this is a doll. I can't play with this. So I just put it on my shelf, and it sat there for months. And then one day we were having a barbecue or something, and I had a younger cousin, and she came over, and I was like, I was a little kid, but this was like my master plan. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to let her play with the Batgirl.
Right.
And then when she goes home, I'm going to say, why don't you take it with you? And that way I will no longer have this doll on my shelf, and I will be free of it. So she's thrilled that I have a girl doll for her to play with because I only had, boy toys.
Right.
And comes time, barbecue's over, comes time for her to go home. I said, you can take the Batgirl with you. You've enjoyed playing with Batgirl so much. And she's like, oh, this is great. And everybody was like, but she's not going to bring it back. If she goes, it's going to be hers. And I was like, yes, she may have it. She loves it so much. Thinking, I am just an amazing kid. But really, it was just so I get rid of the doll. And my grandmother was so moved by my kindness that she went and bought me another Batgirl.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Talk about full circle.
Yes.
Oh, man. It feels like something straight out of a sitcom.
Yes. Maybe I should have buried Batgirl in the sand. I don't know.
Oh, that is just amazing.
Yeah.
dude.
Well, I think I said all I had to say. You can go on to the next person now.
Oh, yeah, don't worry about you, Mike. It's just that that was a great story.
Oh, thank you.
All right, so Francis, you are busy and you've been busy, and we're coming off of MCon this weekend, which was a blast. I love MCon. MCon is one of the better cons out there. It's a small con. It's a free con. But why do you like going to MCon? Because you've been there a bunch of times already, right?
Yeah, I don't remember how many I've done, but it's been a bunch. I like it because I just like the people there, like I like the atmosphere. I like hanging out. I like the fans who come by. It's just I'm hearing clicking. Is that just me, or is that you hear clicking?
I hear clicking.
No,
I'm trying to figure it out.
Okay, all right.
I think this is like tied to that Spielberg movie. I'm telling you.
All right, I'm gonna mute everybody but you, Francis. So if you're gonna talk, just unmute yourself and talk to Francis. But right now, I'm gonna mute everybody else, and that might fix it. Let's find out. Yeah. There you go. Go ahead.
What was I saying?
MCon. What do you like going to?
MCon. Yeah. So it's just like a really fun convention. It's really I love Kelly, and he puts the whole thing together, and I know a lot of work goes into it. Yeah. So all the stuff I said before and that.
Yeah, he does a great job with it, and you can tell that we're used to dealing with him because even when we're talking about it, we want to say MCon 3 times.
Yeah. He did a good job with the loudspeaker at the over the weekend, like emceeing. He's like, MCon.
It's a library con, dude. It is so many different things, and the way he puts it together, it's such a great event, And you have so much stuff happening. You got stuff upstairs, you got stuff downstairs, you got stuff in the auditorium. Dude, it's just a great place to be.
Yeah, and it's free for attendees. Just like you can just walk in, like a lot of people will just walk into the library because they want to go to the library. Like, oh, I didn't know this was going on here today.
Exactly.
And there's a lot of people who just discover, like my work, other people's work. They discover like cosplaying and the panels, like all that stuff that you might not have otherwise gone to because it's right there in the neighborhood.
And that's the amazing thing about it. Yeah, that is your stuff. I gotta say, I get a kick out of all this stuff. I know you started. I guess is it a new story? It's only a new story on the Instagram, but is it a new story on the main site?
Comics Kingdom.
Yeah, Comics.
Yeah.
Kingdom.
So, my strips, Vermin Fairy Tales. It's on Comics Kingdom. If you go to Comics Kingdom, it's a month ahead of what's here on Instagram. So I'm a month into this story that just started on Instagram. Also on Comics Kingdom, I have exclusive Sunday comics. So on my social, on Instagram, I update every Monday, Wednesday, Friday with a new strip. But if you go to Comics Kingdom, you get the exclusive Sunday strips that are not on my socials. It's really to push people to go there. Also, that's for newspapers too.
I would say it must be a thing because I know that's what I remember the most about the comics is it's a Sunday full color longer comics. So how do you feel doing those now?
I've done Suburban Fairy Tales now for 20 years.
Right.
It's crazy to say that, but I've been doing it for 20 years. But I have never done a Sunday until my first one appeared this past October, like at the end of October too. It was like October, right before Halloween.
Right.
So it was different. And I'll say it was like, I had to think differently when doing it because with my daily strip, it's use 3 panels. I tell my joke, I tell my gag in 3 panels. But with a Sunday, you have more space to play with, and It's like I don't want to just do like, oh, here's just a 3-panel Sunday strip. I want to try to do something that I can't do, whether it's a different kind of a layout or a longer kind of a joke. Like I just want to play around with it a little bit. So that took me a little bit to kind of figure out, but now I think I've kind of gotten into a groove with it where now I know like really how to handle put Sunday together. And it's funny, when I first did my first Sunday, I realized I did the dimensions wrong. they gave me the dimensions and like how you're supposed to set it up. And I did like 4 Sundays and I was like, all right, now I have to send it over to my syndicate. And then I was like, wait a second, I'm like off by like 1/4 of an inch. So I had to go back into each Sunday. Whoa. And I forget if I was like, I think I was either shorter or I had to crop it. I don't remember what I had to do, but I had to go in and it was like almost like I had to redo those 4 Sundays all over again to get them the right dimensions. It was not fun. I don't know how I did that, but I fixed it. So every Sunday since then has been the correct dimensions, including the ones I sent them. It was basically like having to double the work.
So, it's a little longer on the Sunday comic strips, but in your books, you were still just repeating the stuff you had done before, right? So you hadn't done like a longer version in one of the books?
No, I haven't. It's like I said, I just did my first Sunday, October of 2025. So just recently it started appearing on Comics Kingdom and on social media. My next book will have the Sundays in it. So when I say it's exclusive, it is exclusive for Comics Kingdom but eventually it will be in my book, and that will be different. My book probably be longer this time than in the past. I use usually about 117 pages for my book, and it's probably going to go a little longer than that because of all the Sunday strips that I've kind of built since October.
So do the Sunday strips continue the story, or are they their own thing?
No, they're standalone. So everyone who's reading, it's a standalone story. It's almost like it's a little extra. Like, you get to peer into the world of these characters. Right. Whereas the dailies that'll carry the storyline. So anyone who's on social media, you're not seeing the storyline. You're getting the full story. Right. But if you want a little bit of extra, you want to see, a little like bonus. If you subscribe to Comics Kingdom, you'll get that bonus. And also the reason I do the standalone is for the Sunday papers. A lot of times, like if a paper. A lot of people, I guess they don't know this, but with comic strips, let's just say one paper runs the dailies, and that same newspaper also runs your Sundays. Right. That counts as 2 papers. So let's just say you talk about like Garfield's, and I don't know, Garfield's in like 2,000 newspapers. It's probably more. I don't know the exact number, but let's say Garfield's in 2,000 newspapers, right? If those papers also have a Sunday edition, it's technically in only 1,000 papers, if that makes sense. Because one newspaper buying the Sundays, one newspaper buying the dailies, that, like I said, counts as 2.
Well, that makes sense, because when you got the Sundays funnies, it always felt like a whole different thing. Sometimes you get a story that continues into the Sundays, but it always felt to me like this was different. This was separate.
So and also Sunday. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I gotta ask. So I'm not asking the amount you get paid, but do you get paid the same amount for a paper that runs the Sunday one and the weekly one?
Good question.
That is a good question. I actually don't know. I'm pretty sure it's the same amount because it's. Again, I'd have to look at my contract, but and I don't know if I'm allowed to say on here, but I'm pretty sure it's the same amount. But that's a good question. I don't know.
You can tell us a good question.
I don't know what I'm allowed to say or not. Yeah, you have to talk to my lawyer.
That's fantastic.
Um, but yeah, but like doing the Sundays, it's been great. It's been great. So like to have started that and to have something that is different and that isn't continued. So it's like its own thing. So if it's just in a Sunday edition, then like I said, you don't have to read the dailies.
Gotcha. I'm always fascinated by this stuff, and I don't think we've picked your brain up. Because we usually see you, we usually talk about your stuff, usually talk about other things, and we tend to have geek out conversations.
Yeah, I mean, I love the geek out conversations, but the business part of it, behind the scenes, is interesting. I always found that interesting, like talking to other cartoonists, especially like the ones who've been doing it like way longer than me,
right?
Who are like way, like really well known cartoonists, because they've been in the industry for just forever, and they have insight, into the business that, I was just syndicated. We talked about it in 2024.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
So this is, this part of the business is all very new to me. And there's only so much you get from reading books and interviews, but when it finally happens, you're like, all right, now like this, now you're part of the business or part of the industry in a different way. I'm not saying, people who do comics, you're all part of the industry, but it's like, it's different when you're dealing with like a syndicate compared to when you're doing it on your own, because it's there's just things that you don't.
But I feel like that's what's because a lot of people kind of go, oh, comics are dead, but not really, because comics are everywhere now. You see them on Instagram, you see them on web what is it, web comics,
Webtoon.
Yeah, Webtoons. You see them they I feel like they've actually evolved.
Yeah, like comics are so they're really pop, especially like the quick comics, like the one panel, or like you'll see like the 3-panel comics that are on social media, because we all have short attention spans. People like, they want to just get in, or they want to read something for like 3 seconds and then they keep scrolling. I think when people say comics are dead, I think they're talking more about like the newspaper industry and the newspaper comics, and they're not dead, but newspapers are they're dying. You hear more and more about how newspapers are shutting down.
Yeah,
there's not as many papers as there used to be, and even like the ones that do exist, like the New York Post, they don't carry comics anymore. They used to. They don't carry comics anymore. So it's not as important to newspapers as it used to be. Whereas, you talk back in the day, in the 20th century, having like a Calvin and Hobbes or Peanuts, and then, or not having it could make or break your newspaper. Like, that was huge. And even before that, you talked about
were big. Sunday sales were huge.
Yeah. But I'm saying, and even like, you go back to like the 30s, with Little Nemo and Crazy Cat and Prince Valiant, like this is when it was even more important, because you'd have like these full, like the papers were printed larger, and you had these full giant pages of comic, like beautiful artwork. No, you go to the 90s, it was still important, but like, they got reduced to the size of a postage stamp in the paper. That's why you have strips that are like little tiny rectangles, and it's So when you're putting it online or you're doing your own comics, you kind of have a little bit more control over it, and it's different than it used to be.
I gotta say, like, I have a lot of friends who put their comics on Webtoons. I got a lot of friends who read comics on Webtoons. That's why when people go, oh, comics, I'm like, no. And it's still, I feel like newspapers is still like the big thing for comics. It's like, which newspaper are you on? So, I don't think newspapers are dead completely yet, because, that's still the thought process on people.
Yeah. I don't think newspapers will ever completely go away. They'll always be kind of like magazines still exist, right?
Yeah.
Or if like vinyl records, like it's just
back
gonna.
now.
Yeah, I mean, they're back now, and that's why I think like, newspapers, they're never going to completely disappear, but it's just not going to be where, like, when what is it? What is Gen Z? Is that or Gen Alpha? What, I don't know. What's the difference? The Gen Alpha is the
Gen Z, Gen Alpha, Gen Beta.
Yeah. So when they get older, like, they're going to be getting their news from, I don't know, maybe be beamed into their brains when they get older. But I think, like, we were just talking about bookstores before, right? Bookstores are still, they dipped and then they came back. I think the same thing with newspapers. It's going to dip, but I think it'll always be newspaper readers. It's just, think about New York, right? We've got, how many papers we got? We've got Newsday, we've got the Daily News, we've got the New York Post, we've got the New York Times, we've got the Wall Street Journal. Am I missing any?
I think that's you hit all the notes. There's a couple of little smaller papers.
The smaller ones. Yeah. I mean, it's great, but do we need, like, just in our area have 5-6 newspapers? Probably don't need that many. So I hope we don't lose any of them, but if we lost 2 of them, I think we'd still be okay.
Yeah, but it's the nature of the beast. And I also feel what happened with newspapers and magazines and comics is that they didn't evolve with the times. Instead of evolving with the times, they kind of like stayed stagnant where they were. Because I always say the same thing. I think magazines lost a moment there where they could have been magazines in the live format and been magazines online at the same time, and you could have continued your base. But I feel like they missed that opportunity.
Yeah, you see newspapers, actually, they're trying to do that where you get a subscription, you can subscribe to their digital edition and get the physical, or you can just subscribe to their digital edition and not their physical. Or you get just the Sundays and then include, there's different plans.
See, folks, we're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
That's the same thing with comics. I'm like, no, comics aren't going anywhere. Somebody's going to want a floppy in their hands.
Comics are too. Yeah. Well, comics are never going to go anywhere, but I think more people buy, like, graphic novels rather than
I agree.
over the floppies. Yeah.
And the same thing with your type of comics. A lot of people like getting those, like your bigger books where you get a bunch of stuff in one book. Yeah.
Like a nice thick collection where you can because I love my floppies, but as I got older, I started just leaning more towards the graphic novels, like the collection, rather than, because you buy a floppy, it's great, it's good to read, but you can read it in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You get through, and not for nothing, like, comics have gotten more expensive. It's better on your wallet. Hey, let's just you buy a graphic novel for 15. Oh, my wife is coming by. Say hi.
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 I thought you were sleeping.
It's so funny. We were in the green when we were talking about a lot of this stuff, and we were talking about a lot of stuff with the bookstores. I feel like people have realized that the physical copies are important. I've always been a proponent for physical copies because I don't like the fact that if you leave it up to them, they're in control of it. If you leave it up to them, they can take it away from you. Which is what I was saying the whole time because people will make fun of me. He goes, "Oh, why are you still buying the movies on DVD? Why are you still buying the CDs?" I'm like, because they can take it away from you. If it's streaming, they can take it away from you. If it's digital, they can take it away from you.
And all the movies I bought for Christmas are gone now.
What do you mean they're gone? Where'd they go?
I bought them on Amazon. I bought Santa Claus is Coming to Town. I bought Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And I bought, A Year Without Santa Claus. Everything moved to Apple. That means they pulled the license from Amazon.
Yeah.
My movies are gone.
You mean you bought the digital version?
Yep. They should say it's an extended rental. It's nothing you own. It's just an extended rental. That's all it is.
Yeah, you own it as long as they have the rights.
Yep.
So when you bought it, like, was it a rental, or did you say I bought it?
I paid $20 for it.
Yeah.
And they took it out of your library?
And they took it out of my library with no reimbursement.
I didn't know they could do that. I thought once you buy it, like, Do they refund your money?
No, nothing. I had to call out. I raised Cain. I called them.
It's in the terms and conditions that nobody actually ever reads.
Yeah.
And that's become a big issue with Amazon and Amazon Prime. You know, you'll buy a series or you'll buy a movie, and then they don't have the rights to that movie anymore or that series, and it just disappears.
Yep.
And it's like, well,
I know, like, if you buy, like, let's just say you buy a digital game. So I don't buy movies like digitally. I always buy them on disc. I feel like I need to own them, like physically own them. But if I bought a digital video game before, let's just say I buy a game for the Wii, right? Or I bought a game for the Wii 20 years ago when it came out. I can still re-download that because it's still part of my account. Like, it still counts as a purchase. I guess it must be different.
Not to take it away from you.
Yeah, I guess. I never worried about that before, but now you got me worried. I have to go check my digital libraries.
Now PlayStation has new policies in place. I just read it online somewhere.
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah, if you don't play the game for a certain amount of time, they'll take it away from you.
Also, PlayStation, they got in trouble for it a little while back. Was they started getting rid of your the digital stuff off your server on your PlayStation, and going, you don't own it anymore.
Yeah,
they got a lot of beef for that.
All right, so keep buying physical as long as you can, I guess.
Yeah.
Who's laughing now? Oh my God, Francis, the next show you're going to be at is Cradle, right?
Yes, I'll be at Cradle. I'll also be this weekend for Free Comic Book Day. I will be at Mid Island Collectibles. I know we talked about it before, but
that's right. We were just talking about that. Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit more, because I do like what they're doing there at the place, because now it's inside the mall. It's a big store too, right?
Yeah, it's big, and I think he's expanding outside the store because it's been so successful. But yeah, you go in there, and there's a lot of different stores within the one store.
Right.
So they have like the Pokemon cards, and they have the comic books. They have a guy with video games. Then there's the pop figures. So you'll find all of the geeky, nerdy stuff that we love are there.
I like that. I like what he's doing, and I did hear a little bit that he's going to try to take some of the kiosks that are outside to add more stuff.
Yeah. So that's where I guess he's expanding out there. I don't know how. I know it's going to be for Free Comic Book Day. I don't know if that's a permanent thing or not.
Right. I can't wait to see, because I like the Broadway Mall. Like I said, my family, we used to go there for our leisurely drive, because we'd hit IKEA and then go into the mall.
Yeah.
And then hang out and do all the beautiful stuff there. And I really don't want to see, but I know that they're not going to get rid of the Broadway Mall completely. But I feel like that this redo that they're doing kind of like is kind of killing the place.
Yeah, I mean, you walk through the hall, or I walk through the mall, and it's just like empty store after empty store. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
I heard they might maybe they'll open it up, kind of like the Tanger outlets, where it's like that outside mall.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess that could draw more.
I think that's the direction they're going in. They want to open it. I'm like, why open it? Just leave it the way it is.
Yeah.
I feel like some business guy has some idea in his head that thinks it's going to work.
You know what? Maybe it'll be cheaper, because then they don't have to air condition and heat such a big area. Maybe somebody crunched the numbers. Maybe there's some data there. I do like that it's inside, because you can go when it's raining, and you can go when it's cold and hot. And
I always see it like this, but I don't like management. Management makes some weird decisions, and they think they're right, and they're never wrong. And even when they're wrong, they're still right. So
yeah. Well, I mean, that's how Toys R Us closed, right? Bad management.
Oh, I still think they again, dude. Every time these stores close, I'm like, why did you close all the stores? You don't need to close all the stores. But when they talk about loss and this and that and that and this, and they end up making money by closing everything.
It's disgusting. It's kind of like what Warner Brothers did, where they wouldn't release that Looney Tunes movie, or Batgirl. They still haven't released Batgirl. It was a tax write-off. So like all the people who worked on that movie, and it had Michael Keaton in it as I wanted to see it. I want to see Michael Keaton as Batman. Never going to see it now. It's just gone.
We got a chance that we might see it only because so far they released the 2 cartoons. Acme versus it
was Coyote versus Acme, and then the day the Earth blew up. I saw that. That was funny. The day the Earth blew up. I haven't seen the Coyote versus Acme. I don't know if that's out in the movies yet. I think it's August it comes out.
Yeah, it's in August.
I have a bizarre story about the Batgirl movie.
Go for it.
And when the whole thing happened and it got shelved, I was talking to a journalist and I said they knew they were going to shelve it the whole time because they did no licensing for it. You can't look at any superhero movie, Warner Brothers or DC, that has 0 licensing. Nothing. Not a T-shirt in Hot Topic, not an action figure. And when they had announced when it was being filmed that Keaton was Batman, I know of at least 24 companies that approached Warner Brothers and were like, we want to do figures. We want to do stuff. And they're like, no, we're not doing a license for it. And then even at licensing show, which was when the movie was still in theory going to be released, and licensing show is the big show they have in Vegas where all the retailers come in and get the licenses for the stuff. They had every other movie up except for Batgirl. And people were like, well, it's still coming out. Oh, yeah, it's coming. Can we get license? No license. And then when they announced that it was going to be, shelved, everybody acted surprised, but it was like, but you knew because you didn't give anybody a license. So I was talking to this journalist, and he worked for a trade magazine, and he started to ask, and they're like, yeah, we're not talking about that, and if you write about it, we're going to sue you.
Whoa.
So it was like, I don't want to say it was obvious, but again, can you name any superhero movie, even a bad one, that had no merchandising?
You're completely right.
Maybe it was.
Sometimes what ends up happening is that you end up getting reveals through the licensing that they do about movies about what's going to happen in the movie.
Yeah. I mean, spoilers. even really bad movies will have T-shirts at Hot Topic.
Yep.
And they end up on clearance.
Yep.
But there was some type of licensing. This had 0 licensing, nothing. Not a cup at 7-Eleven, not a towel, nothing. And that's never happened.
So basically what you're saying is there's no chance in hell that Batgirl will ever get a release, ever.
No, I'm not saying that because, they are releasing the Coyote movie, which they said.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
But I believe that their plan all along was not to release it.
That makes so much sense when you look at it like that. Yeah.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for many superhero movies, I don't want to say you make more off the licensing, but you make a huge chunk off the licensing.
Agreed.
I mean, Aquaman, I'm not going to say that was a bad movie, but I think the licensing almost did better than the film.
Says a lot. Yeah. But you're completely right, though. They make a lot of money off the licensing.
Yeah, it's a bad movie. It's okay. Bad movie.
And now all our screens go black because we know too much.
I think that's why they're messing with us today, because it's not just one thing going wrong today. It's a cascade of things going on.
They know too much. Flood the chamber.
So Francis, this weekend you will be at Broadway Mall for Free Comic Book Day, and then in 2 weeks you'll be at the Cradle of Aviation for CradleCon.
Yes, I will be at both. So come on by, say hello. I'll have my book. I'll be doing sketches. I have my keychains, which you did a video of. That's up on
that's true.
on your Instagram and on mine.
Let's see. Where'd I put you? I put you over here. Yeah, I put you over here. Uh-huh. Yeah, there it is. Hold on. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, look how awkward I look.
Dude, you have evolved considerably since the first time we did an interview.
So like worse?
Oh, you are way better. You're saying you look awkward. Look how to me you look so relaxed.
Oh, I guess I'm good at faking it then.
Well, that's the whole thing.
Oh, I
Like,
also hate.
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. I was gonna say I
No,
hate
go ahead.
watching myself or listening to myself. Like I'll never listen to myself. Like this podcast that we're recording now, I'll never go back and listen to it because I'm on it. Never. Anytime I'm on a podcast, anytime I see a video, I'm like, I never want to see it again because I'm on it.
If you saw folks, they go the keychains. They look fantastic. I love the colors on them. How'd you get them done? Did you get them 3D printed?
3D printed. Yep, I did. Actually, I have it through my own 3D printer, so I did it myself. Just kind of put them together. Yeah, there's a lot of trial and error, but I eventually got them to a point where I was happy with them.
So yeah, folks, go check them out. We've known our pal Francis since before we were bitten apple tea.
Yes, that's going dating back to say 2012, right?
Yeah, 2012, 2013, around there. It's either one of those 2 years. Yeah. Go check him out. He's fantastic. We will bring you more of him at Cradle. If you are at the Broadway Mall this weekend, go say hi. All right, Mr. Paul. Why don't you tell the people why you're the host with the most? Go for it.
Okay, cool. So I'm fast and furiously working on the next issue for our Kickstarter launch of Time Enforcers. And this is actually going to be the first print edition that we're doing. The first episode was done digitally. That's when I was actually trying to program a game at the time. But now, because I have to animate all these cutscenes for episode 2, I said, why not make a comic book? And that's what I'm doing. So I'm pretty excited about it. It's looking really good. We're going to be featuring, right at the point now, I think it's 48 pages total for the individual issue.
Nice.
We'll be offering that on our Kickstarter, but we're also going to be doing a hardcover edition as well. And I'm going to be featuring a lot of the commissioned artworks that I purchased over the past year and a half at different cons of all the artists, including Francis. So I have to hit Francis up for a bio. But the whole point is to feature the artists that actually have done commissions for me, put in a bio for them, and then their links to social media. So hopefully the artists will get some recognition from the work they did, after I sell this book. So I'm excited about that. We have, like I said, the hardcover, but we also have a couple of variant covers in the work right now. I have Angel Lopez, Son of Saint, doing one, which is just phenomenal. And then I have Chris Mad working on a second, and I want to try and get at least 1 or 2 more. So I have at least 3 or 4 variant covers to add as an incentive for a higher tier. So I'm really excited about this. It's going to build into the whole education program that I'm putting together. Basically, History All Around Us is a program for 5th to 8th graders, actually 10th graders at this point. And it's using a state mandated curriculum to essentially gamify the learning experience. And when I say gamify, I mean not play a game, but actually immerse the kids in episode where they actually have to journal, and they take a mission briefing packet and they do journaling every day. They do research on a topic that they want to choose. So if you've been working on, the curriculum is feudal Japan, they get to choose the person, place, or thing that they want to investigate. And so once they get all the research done, they come back together as a team. They collaborate and they do a presentation together in front of class. So not only are they finding out the history on their own, they're working together to present it to everyone else in class. And so I really want to dispel the whole adage, I'd rather die than make a presentation in public or speak in public. And so I think the earlier you get kids, doing this and get in front of class, bring down those fears, and the more they practice, the more they like it. And so that's how it's going to go. So we're going to have a comic book launch in July, looking mid-July for the Kickstarter to start up. Following that, we're going to be doing our tabletop role-playing game. So this is another component for the pilot that I'm progressively building towards for the fall, so that I can launch these schools and start test marketing the pilots with students in classes. So it's all exciting. So with the tabletop role-playing game, it's kind of like a Trivial Pursuit and Dungeons and Dragons experience combined. So it's really meant to be instructional in terms of learning about history through trivia, but it also imparts portions of like role playing where you have to figure your way out of the situation by making up a story to do that. So it's kind of fun. I think it'll be good. It's really easy to learn. It's going to be easy to play, and then go from there. So I'm really excited about that as well.
Talk about busy. And of course, in the green room, we saw a bunch of new stuff that you guys didn't get a chance to see. So
yeah. I mean, I put my hand to the guys on camera here, but yeah, we're actually going to be doing a preview issue. I did show that off the last show.
Also, if you want, give them a little something. Show them the cover.
All right, let me pull it up. Give me 1 second. Now you put me on the spot. Now I got to find it. But the whole intent is to we're going to be exhibiting at Garden State Comic Fest in June, and so the Kickstarter doesn't start officially to mid-July. So I really wanted to have something available for sale at the con when I go there in June. And so I thought, what better way to do this than to have a preview issue? And believe it or not, I'm almost there. But what it is basically the first 12 pages of the book. And it'll be adding some incentives. If you follow the Kickstarter, you'll be getting some free stuff, because I always like to give stuff away. I know I'm a capitalist, but I don't know. There's something about just giving stuff away for free. You know how it is. Anyway, this is the cover here. I'll go ahead and share the screen.
All right, hold on.
You get it done here. And just go back to StreamYard. And then we'll go here and then go share screen. Got it. There's a few clicks with this. It's not easy.
Oh, I know.
But this is the preview cover. It's kind of fun. I was trying to mimic Action Comics #1, but that's why the look and feel is very retro that way. But I was really wanted to highlight Nick and Togo in this, because these two guys are going to be my Johnny Storm and Ben Grimm for Time Enforcers. So they're going to be like poking fun at one another as they do a dungeon crawl through Kronless Fortress. So I'm really excited about that. It's shaping up to be, I think, something more than just, a time travel book. It's really trying to put some background to the characters that I've created for this whole world, and make it more dynamic and in-depth. Because I think the more kids will get interested in this, they'll want to learn more about it. And the big thing that I have, whatever I do with these products, is to provide references. So at the back of the book, a back of either the soft cover or the hardcover edition, I have all the references that I use to research the topic. So if someone wants to find out about film noir, I have all the information about film noir listed back there, so they can go to the web and look it up. And because this is the information I looked up to try and research the topics for these for this content. I mean, I'm not a historian, so I went to reputable sources to try and find the information to make this credible, for readers who are looking at it. The same thing with Togo. Togo is the dog that led the sled run in 1925 to help the kids who had diphtheria, and he was a sled dog that did that. So there's a whole background on him in there. We'll be offering trading cards. Trading cards are actually going to partake and go into the tabletop role-playing game. So it's like I'm just coming up with all this stuff and trying to repurpose it across all the different platforms, and it's really a lot of fun. It's fun creating new things, and it's fun researching all these topics and bringing them to life, which is really cool.
You're amazing to watch. I gotta say, you did a great job with this cover.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, I really wanted to be, Nick is in black and white. He's, film noir, so everything's black and white for him, including his attitude about life. I mean, there are no grays, even though he isn't gray, but everything's black and white. He's the good guy, right? It's if you're bad, you're bad. If you're good, you're good, and that's the way it is. So, but Togo's going to poke fun at him, and he'll poke fun at Togo, so it's going to be fun.
Can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, I just. Yeah, it's like, have you written a script out? It's like, no, I haven't written a script out. I know where I want to go with this thing, but I'm doing the scripts as I go. Well,
sometimes that's how it works, man. You have the idea, and then you go with the flow.
Yeah, it occurred to me the other day. It's like, I was thinking this whole thing through, and it struck me. Another idea came. It's like, okay, now I can add another segment to the comic that I wasn't thinking of before, because I'm just not a planner that way. I'm more of a strategy guy and tactician. I just move. I'm not a big planner.
And Paul, this weekend you're going to be at your local comic store, which is which one?
I'm going to Dewey's Comic City. They're right in Madison, and it's right underneath the Kubert School. So they'll have artists there doing commissions, usually for free. And it's really cool. It's a great experience for the kids to go there and get, a piece of artwork, Batman, Superman, whatever, and these students will do it. But they have artists there as well. Fernando Ruiz, who is big with Archie, and he's actually a teacher at the school. He usually is there at Free Comic Book Day. He's been there. I've been going to this store for Free Comic Book Day probably for the past 20 years, and he's there like every time. Really cool. And V. Keith Marion has been there a couple times, and Lee Weeks is big. He usually appears there as well. So there's a lot of guys in the area who worked at Marvel and DC that will go to the store and actually, do drawings, which is really a lot of fun. So
love it. And of course, Mike, why don't you tell the people where they can find you, all the good stuff, because Mike has a lot of great stuff he's doing and some great stories.
I don't want anyone to find me. I don't want to be found. Especially now that Warner Brothers is going to come after me for telling the secret about, I need to go into deep hiding. You could find me on Instagram. I'm Krampus New York. I'm sure Ralph will put a link. Yay!
Yeah, the link is in the comment section as well. He has a great Instagram. There's always something happening. I gotta say,
it up too much. That's too much pressure.
Oh, come on! But look, you did this great job here with just this little bit here, dude. I like it. It feels so urban.
Well, we're in New York, Ralph.
I'm like, I gotta talk to Drake and figure out how to do it myself. Oh man, go check him out there at his Instagram. Of course, and you also have a Krampus book. I know we usually bring you for Christmas to talk about it, but you can tell the people a little bit about it before you go.
No, there's nothing to say right now. I'm working on the next book. Not going to look backwards. We have to look forward.
See, folks, that's the way you do it. All right, Francis. Tell the people where they can find you. All the good stuff. Go for it.
You can check out my comic strip on Comics Kingdom. And just search for Suburban Fairy Tales on there. Yep, that's it. I'm also on Instagram at Suburban Fairy Tales. But it's better if you go to Comics Kingdom because you get to read it a month earlier than what's on Instagram.
That's what I like when you get like something special out of going to a certain place.
And
but if you subscribe, which I do, you get it in your inbox, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to go find it; just boom, it's there. I love it. It's so fun. It's so much fun.
So much fun, folks. Go check it out. And of course, I will be at Royal Collectibles on Saturday, hanging out with all the crazy people there. And I can say that because I'm crazy. So us geeks will be hanging out at Royal Collectibles. There's a Makers Fair. There's Free Comic Book Day. There's so much happening. And it's always a blast. So once you finish with the free comic books, you can go check out the Makers Fair. It's all in one location, all a lot of fun. And it's like a small Comic-Con. I think one last thing, Mr. Shadow, are you there?
Always.
All right, Mr. Shadow. Why don't you tell the people all the good stuff about you? Go for it.
Hey.
Look, we can see Shadow.
What's up? I'm Lewis, Shadow Rabbit Clay Guy on Instagram, and I make custom sculptures out of clay. Little stuff, big stuff, kind of whatever you can come up with. And yeah,
I figure I can get it up. Here we go. Of course, Shadow is a sharer. He shares all the beautiful stuff. What the heck? Come on, open. Oh, hey. Look, Shadow. Your stuff is fighting me, or is it? I'm beginning to think that my computer is the reason we're having all the issues.
That's fine. My phone has been bugging out all night, so apparently it's been on mute for who knows how long.
Shadow, what type of clay do you like to use?
I really like just using the non-drying clay. Mix it with waxes, kind of get the consistency I like. But I've used, pretty much anything. I've been doing a lot of epoxy sculpt lately. Like the 2-part mixes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, pretty much any brand I've tried once or twice.
Yep. Shadow is amazing. He makes all look. He made this for Mr. Pop and Twist. He was excited about that when we were at a table.
I'm glad. I wanted to make that for him for years. He is amazing.
Yep. There's the Shadow Man himself, and you are heading to CradleCon as well, right?
Yes, sir. I will be at CradleCon. I'm super looking forward to it. I'll have a table there, make my little stuff. My son is going to have a table there selling his comic book that he drew. So I'm pretty excited about that too. Rigel makes stuff.
Love it. I love the father and son thing. I've done a couple interviews with them at a couple of the Cradle of Aviation cons.
Yeah, it's an amazing venue. It's a great show, and a ton of our friends are there. So that's really one of the best parts of going.
And as you can see, folks, Shadow makes dreams come true. Commission him today to make your dreams into reality. Love it. I can't wait to Cradle. I'm looking forward to Cradle. I know it's 2 weeks away, but it can't get here any sooner.
That is crazy that it's that soon.
Let's see. I got one more thing over here. Our pal AZ Volt has his Kickstarter going. It's doing. Oh, look at it go up. It's doing really well. He is at 9,608, 188 backers, 21 days to go. He will be here next Wednesday to talk all about the beautiful stuff he does. If you love video games and sexy women and comic books, this is right up your alley. This is a love letter to all of that stuff, and of course, I've been looking forward to this story for a while. He's been talking to us about it here on the show a couple of times, and I can't wait to see what he's going to do with the story. And also, he's building a universe. So this is the first book in that whole universe. So go check out AZ Volt and come see him next Wednesday when we talk to him. Just amazing stuff. I'll put that link into the comment section over there. And I think that is everything. Oh, look at that. It's the Son of Saint. He goes, Shadow's my hero.
He is a saint himself.
Of course, folks, the Son of Saint is an amazing artist. We saw a preview of something he's working on here with Paul. You guys are going to have to wait to see what it is. But if you guys are looking for a good artist to handle movie posters, comic book covers, book covers, Son of Saint is the man to go check out. And I think that is everything, folks. Anybody else have anything to say before we go?
Angel's cover is kick-ass.
Oh, I'm a guest judge on a Food Network show in September, but I don't know the name of the show yet. So I guess I'll be back on in September and telling you about it.
There we go. We get Greg back on.
That's so cool.
And Paul, you were saying?
Angel's cover is kick-ass. That's all I got to say.
Angel's cover is kick-ass. I agree. Angel's cover is kick-ass. I got to see it. All right, there you have it, folks. Everybody's coming back sooner or later. Mike Drake, Francis, Paul, some of these guys are just regulars, and they'll be back because we like to geek out. So on this show and end, I press the button, and where it stops,